Teammates up front, Eckes on the inside, Ben Rhodes on the outside.
They are side by side, but now Eckes with a big shove. He'll go to the lead. DiBenedetto goes to the second spot. Down low for third. Here comes Blaine Perkins. A terrible restart for Ben Rhodes in the outside lane, but he's on the comeback trail.
He will lead the outside line. That's the lane right down the middle of the back straightaway. As a matter of fact, he'll get a shove so big, Ben Rhodes goes to the lead. Brett Holmes will shove him to the point off the end of the back straightaway.
Just a bit of a two-truck breakaway as they come into turn 3. Christian Eckes goes to the high side now and gets behind his teammate Ben Rhodes. There's some shoving and shuffling among the top 5, and as they come off of turn 4, it is Brett Holmes showing the way.
This is overtime here at the Truck Series race at Talladega. They got to take the white flag, the leader does, to make this race official. It is Brett Holmes on the inside lane. Outside is Ben Rhodes. Next flag ends the race. They're side by side for the lead.
To the inside, Brett Holmes with help from DiBenedetto. He will surge to the lead on the inside. Now the two ThorSport trucks try to organize up high. Ben Rhodes sideways after the push by Eckes.
Brett Holmes leads the way down low. Final trip up the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. Here comes Ben Rhodes to the outside. He'll get a shove. He'll go to the bottom. Here comes Eckes topside, side by side for the win in Talladega.
Teammates absolutely wheel to wheel through turns 3 and 4. Give Ben Rhodes just a brief advantage as he gets a push from Brett Holmes. Off the corner they come. That lower line is quicker. That's where Ben Rhodes is. Here comes Christian Eckes. They make their way through the tri-oval and there's trouble.
They're crashing further back. Here they come, racing back to the line. Ben Rhodes. Oh, they're going to crash right at the line. Ben Rhodes gets turned across the line. We'll wait for scoring. It will show that Brett Holmes crossed the start-finish line in front of Matt DiBenedetto, then Ben Rhodes, Ryan Priest. They literally, Alex Hayden, were crashing all the way through the tri-oval.
And crashing at the checkered flag. We wait for official verification, but Brett Holmes was the first to the line on timing and scoring. This would be a monumental upset win in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and if it holds, it's going to be a hometown win in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
By 2 1/1000ths of a second, Brett Holmes clipped the timing light, or the timing line, according to what we're seeing, in front of Matt DiBenedetto. 2 1/1000ths of a second. We need to wait for NASCAR to just go ahead and make it official. Brett Holmes, 25-year-old driver from Mumford, Alabama. He came across the line after Corey Himes spun. That caused a multi-truck crash back in the middle of the tri-oval. Then they got together, racing 3 wide back to the line. You had Ben Rhodes right smack dab in the middle, Matt DiBenedetto down on the apron. The caution flag was flying prior to the checkered flag, and that may make the difference before we can just announce that Brett was the winner. Brett beat everybody back to the start-finish line. Yes. Was he out front when the caution flag came out? That's the question.
That is a major question that has to be answered because the caution came out before they got to the checkered flag. That will freeze timing and scoring. And to our right in race control, there is a huddle around the monitors right now as they try to determine exactly who won this thing. Brett Holmes, the 2020 ARCA Menard Series champion, hoping that NASCAR tabs him and says, yes, you did. But for now, we're going to wait and see what NASCAR says.
14 people, 28 eyes right now, all focused on one monitor to our right. And let's go back and just revisit. Brett Holmes to the start-finish line first? Absolutely, by 2 1/1000ths over Matt DiBenedetto. Take that out of the equation. Clearly, we can see that the caution flag was in the air before the drivers got back to the start-finish line. Who was out front when the caution flag came out? Ben Rhodes had them covered at the moment. Brett Holmes had gone to the outside to make it 3 wide. Matt DiBenedetto went down on the apron. He made contact with Ben Rhodes. That started the crash further up towards the start-finish line. Yellow flag goes in the air. Who's out front? I'm not sure.
Well, I think the NASCAR decided to put the caution out because of the big crash in the tri-oval behind the following crash, because there were some significant impacts with the wall and with other trucks out there as they were crashing in the tri-oval before they started wrecking coming to the line. The caution, again, if you're just joining us, came out before the checkered flag came out at the line. So NASCAR is trying to determine by rule, when the field is frozen, when the caution comes out, who the race leader was.
All right, when you take a look at it, Matt DiBenedetto is going to pass Ben Rhodes well below the double yellow line. That is not legal to do here. Do you take Matt out of the equation? Without question, he had left side tires, if not both left and right, below the yellow line in order to pass Ben Rhodes. There was another truck right behind him. I'm not sure who that was. Can't tell whether they were below the yellow line. But Matt DiBenedetto making contact with Ben Rhodes, I think you got to look at that. Alex?
Was he forced below the double yellow line on the contact? That's something that has to be talked about as well. You know, there's an awful lot that's got to be determined here by race control. And again, it's not one person that's looking at it to make the decision. There is a host of NASCAR officials, and they are the heavy hitters of NASCAR, that are gathered around to try to determine, A, who won the race, B, who was second. Did DiBenedetto advance his position below the yellow line illegally? Was he forced down there? Oh, the questions are beginning to mount.
Well, I'm wondering, and by the way, yes, there was a number of trucks involved in crashes, and to the best of our ability, they were either able to drive away or get out under their own power and go back to the care center. Matt DiBenedetto and Brett Holmes are sitting side by side waiting for a determination. The 99 truck is the one that I'm trying to find. That would be Ben Rhodes. And we are getting a note right now from NASCAR. It's official. It is going to be Matt DiBenedetto as the winner here at Talladega, and he just heard it, and he lights the rear tires. Matt DiBenedetto has been scored the winner of the Chevy Silverado 250 at Talladega. Let's go to pit road.
Tell you what, high fives all around for this crew. They have been trying for the last handful of years to get that first victory. They brought Matty D in to get the job done. Chad Kendrick came in a couple of years ago. They started building a winning program with this Ward Rackley Racing, roofing racing team, and they are going to celebrate back for this team in Nashville. They're taking a trophy back for the first time.
Well, Matt DiBenedetto led one lap, and that's the one that counts. And to make that even more remarkable, this is 5 straight Talladega truck races. The winner has led one lap, the final lap.
Homestead Miami. It's everything we all think of when we think